My name's Dave DeBow, founder of MoneyPartnerFormula.com, and this show is built for everyday real estate investors who are actively doing deals and looking to scale using other people's money. So if you're an active real estate investor and you want to get featured on this show to talk about your own real estate and capital raising experiences, then just go to daveinterviewsyou.com. Now let's get rolling with this episode, and remember to subscribe for daily interview content. Welcome back, everybody. Today we've got a special treat. We've got a real estate investor and a realtor, Shelby Paget, zooming in from beautiful Boise, Idaho. And Shelby, in addition to being a father and I think a motocrosser and a sportsy kind of guy and a realtor, he's also a very accomplished real estate investor. In fact, he and his family have house hacked their way to a $5 million portfolio in about 5 years. So that's pretty impressive. And Shelby, welcome to the show. Great to have you.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me on here, Dave. It'll be fun to relive the story.
Yeah, for sure. So let's start with a quick little snapshot. What does your real estate business look like right now? We're mid-July 2024. So between your realtor business and your real estate investing business,
Yeah.
what does that look like right now?
Yeah, so if we were to go from a high level overview of kind of my life in terms of investments and work, my active income is my real estate, buy, sell, traditional real estate, work with all sorts of different types of property and asset types. We've been really busy, very fortunate and blessed this year. We should be hopefully running around 20 to 25 million by end of year for solo production. So
Nice.
It's always a good time to explore seeing what we can do and invest in further next year. And the investment portfolio is primarily single family units that are, we have some in-state and some out-of-state and some mixed-use properties, but they're relatively stable in terms of time requirements from our end. We have one that we personally manage, and the rest are managed by property management companies. We work with 3 different property management companies across the portfolio who basically take care of the day-to-day operations across the board. And then my home life is my priority. Be home. I got a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old and my wife, about 5 years this month. And so we're just trying to spend as much time as we can because everyone tells us the boys grow up so quickly.
They do.
So,
They do. So I'm glad that you're spending lots of time with your kids while they're
yeah.
little. Well, that's good. So tell me a little bit about the whole house hacking journey and how that's morphed into $5 million of property.
Yeah, so it started with, I owned a property that I'd lived in Eagle, Idaho, which is a great little charming spot of the Northwest Valley here. And during that time, before bigger pockets, made it a mainstream topic or household term, house hacking and such, of course, I was trying to find ways to increase income and lower my costs while I was starting my journey, transitioning from Silicon Valley tech startup world as for work. Into real estate. And so, of course, the easiest way to do that, I said, hey, I have this house, I got a great price on it. I don't need to live alone. I have 4 other bedrooms I can rent out. So I started renting those out and ended up filling them all over, a couple months or a few months time, and ended up living relatively inexpensively. There were months where I'd be living for free, other months where I'd make a little profit, and other months I'd be out maybe $400 or $500. But overall, it helped buffer, my overall expenses. And I was like, this is amazing. So at the time, I didn't really know that was house hacking because I put 5% down and bought the property and such. And that was kind of the first experience of house hacking. And as I met my wife, when we started dating, we realized we want to get married, and we started on that journey. She actually had a house as well. She's a vet, 14 years Air Force. And so she ended up buying a house with a VA loan, and she actually bought a house. Her story is really cool. She waited 6 months for basically somebody that had gone into foreclosure, right? And
Yep.
REO kind of set up or whatever it was. And so they had to wait, and she ended up getting the deal eventually done. So she got a really good deal on a home and very little out of pocket. And she had roommates as well. So we'd met each other.
This is before you guys met.
Yeah,
You were both house hackers, and then you met. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and neither of us had any idea what house hacking was at the time. And
Right.
so we got, engaged. We're like, okay, well, we both have our own houses, which we liked. I really liked my house, and she really loved hers. They're both beautiful homes, and they're set up for us, right? So we wanted to merge our lives together when we got married and start fresh. So I said, you know what? yeah, I'm gonna like bust my tail this year, try to make some additional income, and we're gonna buy one of these new homes in a popular spot in Meridian. And our intention with that was to merge our lives and live in this house temporarily for a year. We actually had that conversation that it'll be a temporary move. We think it's a great area poised for appreciation and great rents. And we bought a 4 bedroom with a little bonus room area for a great price in Meridian. At the time, it was like 284 or 282, which is crazy nowadays. And so we lived there for about 12 months. We actually had a lease agreement signed for that 12-month turnover 3 months prior to us leaving, which was great. I had a friend of mine that needed a place. And so all in, I think we're about maybe a year and a half, 2 years since we met, basically. We built a home at that point with one of the builders out here, and we had 3 rentals at that time. So, by God's grace, we kept our homes instead of selling them at the time
Yeah.
and dealt with, the headaches that come along with learning what a landlord is and what tenants are and all that fun stuff. Still
Now,
learning
do
that.
you still have them as rent by the room type houses, or have you transferred them over to more long-term
We
rental?
did a little bit of both throughout the portfolio, and we've landed on long-term single family rents, just buy and hold boring business stuff because it's been the least amount of time involvement and capital. But yeah, we did try some mixed room rent by room stuff as well. Just didn't work as well for sanity sake for work.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
imagine it works okay when you're living in the house and you're the guy that's managing all your buddies that are renting
Yeah.
rooms from me. But when you're from afar and you've got a wife and a family and a life and work, and now you're trying to manage a bunch of strangers who are all
Oh
strangers
my
to each other in
goodness.
the house, that would
Yeah,
be
someone
challenging.
gets mad at someone, and then all of a sudden someone moves out and they can't afford it, and it's a whole ordeal. So we've been through that quite a few times as well. So I always tell clients, if you want another job, there's always potential for more income, but it's going to be more time, and just depending on what that opportunity cost is for
Yeah,
your time.
that makes sense. So where are you taking your real estate portfolio moving ahead, Shelby?
So we're navigating a lot of different strategies right now, to be honest. A lot of investors are very solidified in their trajectory or their strategy. We've done this we have 10 single family units with 12 doors total that
Nice.
are all rentals. And so that was kind of our goal. Our target was 10 doors and then reevaluate. And we've been reevaluating for almost a year now, trying to figure out what we want to do in particular. And that could be an array of things. It could be 1031ing into larger assets classes, right? Like multi-unit apartment stuff. It could be selling off and being completely debt free and retaining a couple of those units paid off,
Hmm.
as well as paying off for primary completely. Or it could be a hybrid of kind of a plethora of those things. So we're actively having conversations about that stuff with my CPA and my wife and my financial guys. So I'm trying to figure out what one of the wisest paths would be based on our goals and where we're at. I'm still
Yeah, that's
really
that
earning in my
whole,
early years, so
I'm sorry, what was the last part?
that I'm still actively aiming to be in my earning years. So I don't want to necessarily cut myself short.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to figure it all out.
Well, I remember a friend of mine years ago had this whole philosophy. I think he called it 5 homes to freedom or something like that. And that was the whole idea. You buy about 10 houses, hold on to them for a few years, sell off half, pay off the other half. You got 5 free and clear, and you chug
Yeah,
along with those. And life's relatively simple. It's not as sexy as uh, some other strategies out there. However, if you think about it, 5 free and clear single family homes, that's
it's a
millions
lot
of
of
dollars
capital.
worth of property, probably in the markets they're in. If you
Yeah,
don't have any debt on them, the cash flow is fantastic. And being a self-employed kind of guy like you are, there's your, if you're not
yeah.
worried about that money just yet, there's your pension plan
Yep.
3 years
And
down the
the
road.
fact
So
that it just allows me to have a perspective and an approach to work where it's going to be beneficial and proactive versus reactive or feeling pressured to do so, right? So
yeah.
I think that freedom, that mental freedom and clarity would be interesting. So we're navigating that. We don't
Yeah.
necessarily have to do anything right now, and we're just kind of figuring out what's going to be the right move.
Well, you guys are good Christian folks, so you probably don't use this language, but that's kind of called FU money.
I know sometimes it doesn't feel like it, but I know that everything worthwhile takes time and a lot of work, and we've been putting in the work and waiting on time now. So
Well, so you guys are really investment focused yourselves. Do you work with a lot of real estate investors in your realtor business as well, or is it
yeah.
more mom and pop home buyers and sellers?
No, it's probably about 50-60% investor minded folks, people
Oh,
that
wow. Yeah.
maybe had dinner or we've crossed paths. I don't talk a ton about our portfolio online. I probably should more. But the people that know us and trust us know kind of a little bit of what we do. And I love sitting down with people and having like coffee dates and talking about the opportunities they have, especially clients this year who bought a house, in 2018, 2019, and they can cash flow like $1,200 a month today and go put 5% down on the next property with incentives from builders. It's a no-brainer for people in those positions. And I love that, getting them
Yeah.
excited about that. And then seeing the fruit from that, last 5-6 years, I've seen some of those clients, they've turned one of their rentals, house hack rentals or primaries, into a rental, and now they have 3 or 4, which is really cool.
Nice. Very, very cool. No, that's awesome. So before we jumped on the call, I was taking a look at some of the stuff that you're doing. You're pretty active on social media and you got a really cool YouTube channel that's a lot about lifestyle with a little bit of real estate stuff mixed in. How long you been running that for?
I think my first video was posted in 2006.
Oh,
Little did I
wow.
know, I should have started then, but I didn't post consistently for probably 10 years thereafter. So
But you
most,
started it in 2006.
yeah, my first video was in college of riding some BMX bikes and sliding the cars around in wet parking lots and all that stuff. Had no
Yeah.
idea what that tool could have been used for, but
Well, but whatever. So you do a mixture of posting stuff about the fun stuff that you're doing with
yeah.
motorcycles and BMXs and lifestyle type stuff, and you post stuff about what you're up to as a realtor as well. How is that, just from a marketing standpoint? I'm always curious, how does that work for helping you to grow your business, or is it more just kind of a fun thing that you do?
Yeah, it's been instrumental, to be honest. I probably get over 60% of my business at least from social. So,
Wow.
and then the rest would probably be referrals, to be honest. I don't do a lot of cold calling or having to do that, which is a huge, I'm very fortunate for that. But a lot of people end up connecting with me because they're interested in either the car I'm playing with or the bikes or the jumps or the place we're riding or motocross and whatever it may be. And then we end up talking more and they find out that I'm in real estate. And then, for one reason or another, either themselves or someone they know ends up talking about Idaho because Idaho is a very popular transplant place coming from where I am originally from, which is the Bay Area in California or Southern California.
Yeah.
And so somewhere along the lines, we cross lines and we connect and we're able to help a lot of people that way. So I've been getting, we usually get maybe like between 5 to 8 people a week from social media that are connections and new conversations about Idaho through that means. So.
Very cool. Very cool. So what do you do? How do you tie things in between your YouTube channel and Instagram and TikTok and all that kind of stuff? Do you do different things for different channels, or you just kind of post the same thing everywhere?
Yeah, I think maybe the way that each of them may be edited might differ slightly,
Uh,
but the content itself at the root is pretty consistent. And I know there's different strategies in that I could probably be more benefit. It could be more beneficial to my business bottom line if I did one thing specifically and very defined. But I haven't folded yet. I really like having
yeah.
it kind of like a personal life journal of all the fun things that I've been able to do and get involved in. And it's worked so far that way. So I'd like to
Oh,
be
that's
more transparent in the whole broadness of what we do instead of
no,
just
that's
one.
no, that's really cool. I like that. I like how you've combined everything. And I was just wondering if it takes a lot of time to repurpose
Yeah.
content from one thing to another, or you just kind of create it once and put it up
Yeah,
everywhere.
it takes time for sure. And I go in, little sprints, I guess. It'd be like 2-3 weeks. I'll have a lot of content produced constantly. And then all of a sudden I'll just get kind of burnt out and
Yeah.
take a week off or something. But
Take a
there,
breather.
those are the back end processes that I'm trying to fill those voids and delegate in a way that I can get people in a place to be able to just have that done for me. So,
Well, yeah, actually, I think these days it's easier than ever, with
yeah.
outsourcing and VAs and whatnot. If you just give them access to whatever, wherever you have the raw footage, probably on your phone or iCloud or something like that. And
Yeah, I've got like 30 something thousand videos on my phone.
oh,
So
wow.
I could
Yeah,
probably
I'm,
have a
I'm,
huge
I'm sure
bit.
there's some voodoo magic there with the they can just get access into your iCloud and grab the
Yeah.
video and do their magic with it and post it for you, even if you want to
Oh
do.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably the biggest learning point I'm at right now with the portfolio and with business and with family is
Well, you
just
got
learning
two little kids,
how,
so yeah, there's only so many hours in the day, right, man?
yeah, it's trying to learn how to scale intelligently and delegate
Yeah,
efficiently.
fantastic. Well, hey, you know what, Shelby, thanks very much for sharing your story and what you're up to with us. And if people want to connect with you, where should they go?
Yeah, the best way right now is probably my Instagram. So it's Shelby C Paget, and shoot me a message, leave me a comment, and love to connect.
Awesome, very good. Well, keep up with the good work and yeah, it's really cool what you've done in a short period of time.
Thanks for having me, Dave.
All right, everybody, take care, and we'll see you on the next episode. Hey there, I really hope you enjoyed that episode. And as always, if you want to listen to more daily interview content, make sure you subscribe. And if you're an active real estate investor and you're doing deals and you'd like to get featured on this show, then just head over to daveinterviewyou.com. Now, at moneypartnerformula.com, we help real estate investors to create a process for predictably getting capital so they can do more deals without relying on hard money lenders or the banks. We do this by building them a private capital marketing system. Now, if you want help turning yourself into a big money capital attraction machine, then book a call with our team to see how we can help. Just visit moneypartnerformula.com to find out more. All right, take care, and we'll see you on the next interview.